Well, that was a pretty good way to end it. That's not to say that there weren't some problems with it, especially since the finale didn't have a true, real good finale vibe, if you ask me, because the writers of the show definitely wanted us to feel like they were heading up to a big conclusion, and while it did wrap everything up, I can't help but feel like it just kind of a finale episode, to be honest with you. But that's not to say that the rest of the season felt that way. It was better than the last couple, that was for sure. They did some really nice things here that kind of surprised me, even though I did go for a roller coaster ride of emotions, let me tell you, because Chloe here, given how, what happened at the very beginning of the season, I was like, wait a second, are they writing her off? Like, I remember when I originally thought that they were going to kill her off, and then I realized, nah, actually, I don't think they're going to do that. She's cemented a good place here, but then they start doing what they're doing at the beginning of the season with, I think, Suicide Squad, and, I was like, you're gonna kill off now? Don't do that. Well, thankfully they didn't. So I'm really pleased to, see that. Right. Continuing Oliver's personal storyline, and now that he dealt with demons from his past and him deciding to reveal his identity, well, it kind of makes sense, because, like, he is a little bit like Mr. Fantastic in that, he's got the personal wealth behind him and has a very good civilian identity established. So, in a way, telling everyone, I don't think it's going to hurt him that much, although we didn't really get to see much of that given how this show acted. What else to mention? Continuing little bits with Joel and Martha Kent, nice. Continuing to use Tez and Emil, I liked what they did with them, and that Hangover episode, oh my god! Like, my parents literally like, are you not dying in there? I was laughing that hard, oh my god, that was hilarious. The unique bits that they did with, like, the Justice League people and the reintroduction of Lex, didn't like all of it, but on a critique point I can't really complain that much, although I will complain about how it seemed like this season did a lot of second chance things, where we get a new Lex, a new Lionel Luthor, and a new Zod, albeit Zod's in the Phantom Zone, so he can't exactly do that much unless you have to be in the Phantom Zone with him. But, like, the overall bits where the show flips the script and makes it so suddenly that Lionel is the main opposition to Clark and company again, not the biggest fan of that. I mean, like, I know that this is not the same Lionel. I fully understand it, and trust me, I love those alternate universe episodes, and we get some nice moments with both versions of Lois. It's really interesting to see how different they act there, and how Lois, just, by looking at Clark, is able to realize, yeah, that's him, whereas Lana, she couldn't even tell that she wasn't talking to the real one, and I seem to recall that she might have actually known about his powers then. I can't remember, because it seems like they just play the forget if you have powers or not, because I could have sworn, there's been, like, 3 moments in this show where Clark has, or it has become known to Lois that Clark has powers, But, as I said in the last 2, I definitely will benefit from a rewatch of this show whenever I get around to doing that. Um, so those are big things. Killing Tez. Well, she went out for a purpose, and it was a nice way to, help this new version of Lex out at the end, but, as I said, it just kind of felt a little, with that, finale there. Oh yeah, and, a definite example of how I'll benefit from a rewatch of the show. What was the deal with, everyone, like, passing out after they killed off Hawkman, which I didn't see coming at all? Just, what was the result from that? Yeah. But other things that they did, I felt it was some creative lift, cementing that Clark and Lois are going to be together and knowing all of their secrets. I'm really glad that they did that. Sure, they're not together at the complete end of the show, but I'm not that bothered by that. You know that they're going to end up together eventually. Chloe and Oliver getting a fairly good happy ending. I'm really glad that that happened, because Chloe deserves that after all that she's been through. And Oliver, well, he didn't need a love interest, but it was a nice touch that that happened. Giving us one last farewell for Kara. I liked that, although I found it really odd that they just, wrote her off that close to the final battle. It's just like, wouldn't she stay for that? But I guess that's me not understanding the Superman lore enough in this show, whereas I'm sure many other people will. And then the last little bit from Brainiac. Again, you got the second chance bit, but I'm a little less picky about it there. And no, I don't think that they give Perry a second chance now, because last season had sort of put him on that trend, and if he ends up being the buffoon, that causes a lot of problems rather than be the serious version that I've seen him in the Donner movies, and as Lawrence Fishburne has portrayed him in the Man of Steel verse. I can deal with that, I think. And then that female reporter constantly causing problems. Lois Lane is the blur. Oh my god, how stupid do you have to be? Hilarious, that's right. Yeah. So, not the greatest video, but I hope I did indicate to you that I like this season way more than the last few, and okay, I have to touch upon this. The final moment where we see Clark running up to the roof of the Daily Planet, and then we see the red uniform for the first and only time, while John Williams' theme, or something very close to John Williams' Superman theme, plays in the background. Sure, it does portray the message that they said at the beginning of the show, you're not going to see the tights, but technically it wasn't all the tights, it was just the logo, really, and you know that while he has assumed the Superman identity, I don't think that if they continue this, which I think they do in some comic books, which I don't think I'm going to bother with, unlike the Buffy comics that continue the show. This feels final, and I still don't think I'll ever be comfortable referring to Clark here as Superman. This is Clark. And it's really interesting to note how Tom Welling, throughout most of this show, was just as much in the dark as to how this Superman would evolve as we are, because he said that when he met Christopher Reeve, he said that he didn't want Reeve telling him anything about the character, because he's like, I want to know this as I'm playing him, which I think really speaks to his commitment. Let's keep this natural. I don't want any predictions, and I admire that, especially since, well, it's not as tough to do it now, because I think this show ended right as the social media boom started going, because this show ended I think my junior year of high school. Yeah, so Social Network would have been out about a year by then, and that's when I learned about Facebook. Yes, I was that much in the dark about what Facebook was, people. Yeah. But overall, a good show. Yeah, it did start having issues once I got into the second half, but I, without question, want to rewatch this show eventually and hope that it'll fit in nicely into all the comic book stuff that I got. And I really do applaud just how long they were able to keep this going. And yeah, I did have a lot of complaints in these reviews, but I hope you enjoyed what I was able to put in here, and that for you big comic book nerds, I didn't offend you that much. I really hope that. Later.